And if you can do what I call create a future memory, you think of yourself in the future and you have a 3-centered experience. You think 3 centers, thinking, feeling, and doing. So I'm thinking about myself in the future, and this is what I'm imagining is happening. What am I thinking about? What am I engaged with intellectually? How am I responding to that? In other words, how is my feeling, my emotional center engaged with what I'm doing in the future? What is my body doing? Am I outdoors? Am I interacting with people? Is it quiet? Do I have a balance of out and in? Do I have in-breath and out-breath? In-breath is sort of when we're, and out-breath is when we're, how am I balancing the flow of my day?
Thoracic versus diaphragmatic.
Exactly right. So if you have that 3-centered future memory, now you've created a vision yourself in the future. And it turns out that as humans, when we create a vision, we actually start gravitating towards it. It's the sunflower effect.
What's that?
The sunflowers in the field. So the sun comes up in the east in the morning, and the sun, if you take a time-lapse photography, photograph of a sunflower, it tracks the sun during the day. In other words, it gives its attention, without knowing it, it gives its attention to what's feeding it. Its attention is going towards its energy source. Its energy source is replenishing it, and it's following it all day. So now take that concept and apply it to Ben Wiggins. If Ben Wiggins or the organization that I'm working with can figure out what gives it energy, what gives it life, what's its life-giving force, and it pays attention to that, it'll grow. It'll grow in the direction of what gives it energy. So that's the dream. So the discover is figuring out what the positive core is within the organization. The dream is casting a vision for the organization. And, doing that in all 3 centers for the organization means everything from structural. What does it look like when this organization gathers? So when people gather, there's people, but there's also place. And that physical space creates the feeling, the mood, the energy of an organization. So when I say cast a future memory in all 3 centers for an organization, the physical center is how are we moving with each other? Where are we gathering? What is the physical orientation of our desks? That's sort of notion. When we're at our best, what does this place look like physically? When we're at our best, how are we engaging with one another? What's the culture of our environment? Is it supportive? In other words, rather than saying we have a toxic environment, we want to fix it, we say we have people in our environment who care a lot about students. Let's feed that energy.
Right.
And it's not that we try to stop the silos. It's just that by building connections, the silos drop. There's an example. So discover, dream. Then the next part is to design.
Okay.
And design means, well, how are we going to make manifest that dream or that vision we have for our organization? What is it that we are going to do? The practical things, the strategies and the tactics. How are we going to organize ourselves? How are we going to communicate? When we are firing on all pistons, how is the organization flowing? And so part of it might be creating a customer experience map, because we want to know our touch points with our customers so that we can craft that experience. Okay. And then the last part is to deliver. So actually go into the organization and make it happen. And that's where the work happens, the actual implementation of a strategic plan or of an organizational design. So that's what I'm doing now, working across campus with lots of wonderful people, tapping into the deep love that people have for A&M. So to do this process, we put people into a room and we have what we call a summit. And the summit is the entire system, as many people in the system, all the constituencies as you can get represented, to come together and say, we care. We care about this organization. I'm a student. I'm a donor. I'm a customer. I'm a employer. I'm a worker. I'm a faculty. Put those people all together and then say, what do we want to do with this organization? What do we love? That is so wonderful to walk around campus and do that with people who love A&M and who want this place to be the best it can be. I'm telling you, it's just been the greatest last year. So